What's going on, real ones? BCHQ back with another reaction. We got Don Double E, never heard of this guy, with depression stories. The title alone caught my attention, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm big on mental health stuff, been through depression myself. So when I saw the title for this, I was like, I'm gonna have to check that out. Not enough artists are doing this type of shit either, so let's go. Alright, so we've got some text up. Randy grew up in East London, and throughout his youth, Randy was very popular in school. In his local community, he was known as Social Butterfly. He was very confident and had a funny sense of humour.
My name's John Loyombo Bahia, also known as Randy, also known as Fromage. I grew up in Ilford. I went Cannon Palmer School. Yeah, man, I was just all over the Ilford area.
In 2012, Randy moved to Southampton to attend university on a business degree. However, once he relocated to Southampton, he found himself involved in narcotics operation that was profiting up to thousands of pounds a week. This was funding a lifestyle that filled with beautiful females, designer clothes, jewellery and flashy cars.
When I was in 2021, went to study in uni in Southampton, but you know, things kind of changed for me. I started selling drugs. You know, I was very, very popular in the environment that I was in. Everyone knew me. Had a lot of friends and stuff. You know, had a lot of women and all that as well. You know.
That's crazy, man. So he was at university and he still went down the wrong path because he was already popular and that, and then he's using that for the wrong reasons. Starts drug dealing. Mad. In the summer of 2015, Randy lost his younger brother and childhood friend. Deaths only a few weeks apart. He found it very hard coping with these losses and fell into deep depressions and face to face with his first encounter with mental health.
Things just went downhill when I lost my brother like in 2015 and that.
It's gonna be hard for me to speak on this. It's like my own friends probably won't believe in this.
Yeah.
I was going through depression when I needed him. Like, God, why you trying to let this demons in? It was mad cause I lost my belief.
Look, I'm not religious, but when people questioning God, you know that they're going through shit. Because I get that same kind of feeling, even though I'm not religious. It feels like I am looking to someone and saying, why me? Do you know, I think everyone can relate with that. As a bar.
Let this demons in. It was mad cause I lost my belief in him. I was going through some real shit, man. This shit had me stressing. I was falling in depression. Had to ask myself the question, like, what the fuck is this? Man, it couldn't be the money cause I had it all. See, the streets knew me.
Couldn't be the money because I had it all. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, he's going through stuff. He was already at uni. He already had all these friends. Yet, he went down the wrong path still.
I tried to hide all the pain in designer gear, but did that make me happy?
I tried to hide all the pain in designer gear. That materialistic stuff, it doesn't, what's the word? Sustain. That's only for a short term. To try and fill a hole that something else needs to fill that with. Do you know what I mean? Materialism is not going to fill that hole.
Ever felt alive but inside so dead? If you only see the force that's running through my head.
Have you ever felt alive but inside so dead?
The word trust and there. Have you ever felt alive but inside so dead? If you only see the force that's running through my head. See, I hate the word trust. I've been snaked by friends. And if they had another chance,
I hate the word trust. I've been snaked by friends. I can relate.
The money cause I had the all. See, the streets knew me. I was credible. I tried to hide all the pain and designer gear, but did that make me happy? I was nowhere near. Have you ever felt alive but inside so dead? If you only see the force that's running through my head. See, I hate the word trust. I've been snaked by friends, and if they had another chance, they'll probably do it again. Paranoia creeps in, I'm watching everyone, and literally I don't trust anyone.
Cool.
I had niggas in and out of the house with 2 beaters. Own friends ratted on me for no reason. Never trust a nigga with bricks. Oh Jesus, man, I got that
Said
Seagull, that's the realest.
he had homies that ratted on him for no reason.
Paranoia creeps in, I'm watching everyone. And literally, I don't trust anyone. I had niggas in and out of the house with 2 beaters. Own friends ratted on me for
No reason.
Never trust a nigga with bricks. Oh, Jesus, man, I got that from Siegel, that's the realest quote. And when I thought my girl left me, man, I couldn't cope. Yeah, they say they understand, but they really don't. You can't read these issues that I'm dealing with. See, this life's kinda mad, it's got me seeing things. What's the tension of 20 girls when you only want one, but the one that you want ain't feeling it? It cuts deep, cuts so deep. I never trust a nigga with bricks. Oh, Jesus, man, I got that from Siegel, that's the realest quote. And when I thought my girl left me, man, I couldn't cope. Yeah, they say they understand, but they really don't. You can't read these issues that I'm dealing with. See, this life's kinda mad, it's got me seeing things. What's the tension of 20 girls when you only want one, but the one that you want ain't feeling it? It cuts deep, cuts so deep I can't sleep, man, this shit's getting worse. Mum see the change in me, trying to take me to church. Look into my eyes, she can tell that her baby hurt.
Wow. So his mum could see the change in him, his downfall and that, so she's trying to take him to church to savour him. Come on, man.
Tell them that you want it to yourself. Probably take some pills and then probably just overdose. Is life worth living? I was asking him. Prayed night and day, but he wasn't answering. Superhero to my little boy.
Prayed every day, but he wasn't answering.
It's that her baby hurt. How you gonna tell mum that you want it to yourself?
How you gonna tell mum that I want to kill myself? Come on, man.
The church, look into my eyes, she can tell that her baby hurt. How you gonna tell mum that you want it to yourself? Probably take some pills and then probably just overdose. Is life worth living? I was asking him. Prayed night and day, but he wasn't answering. Superhero to my little boy. And heroes don't die in this movie. It's one of the reasons I'm still alive.
Saying so all the stuff he's going through, even regardless of that, he's still a superhero to his little boy. That's crazy. I can relate to that as well because I've got a little boy myself, and even my daughter as well. The way sometimes with things they say to you, you can tell that you're godlike to them. So that's mad that you can still be that to them, even though you're going through shit and you feel like worthless. Your kids might say something to you that brings home like reasons to be alive, and like it just alters your reality. Sometimes you'll be like, rah, like they look at me like that.
Probably take some pills and then probably just overdose. Is life worth living? I was asking him. Prayed night and day, but he wasn't answering. Superhero to my little boy. And heroes don't die in this movie.
No.
It's one of the reasons I'm still alive. See, the docs
it's one of the reasons I'm still alive.
But all I needed was prayers and meditations.
It said the docs tried to put him on medication, but all he needed was prayers and dedication.
But he wasn't answering. Superhero to my little boy. And heroes don't die in this movie. It's one of the reasons I'm still alive. See, the docs try put me on all of the medications, but all I needed was prayers and meditations. Speak out the whole shit.
Meditation, not dedication, my bad.
Cause you don't have to live. See, the docs try put me on all of the medications, but all I needed was prayers and meditations. Speak out the whole shit in, that's constipation. Cause you don't have to do this all alone. And you don't have to go through this shit all on your own. I know you got a friend that will probably pick up the phone and see clear with things.
You have to go through it on your own. Talk to someone.
I used to be just like you, waking up stressed, man, just like you, questioning myself, man, just like you, suicidal thoughts, man, just like you. So if you feel the same way, you better speak out too.
As I said, I've never heard of this guy, but I rate him fully for this. Need more artists speaking on this shit. Not long after these burials, Randy's family and friends noticed big changes in Randy physically. He stopped eating, bathing, brushing his teeth and keeping up with social life. He stopped talking to friends and cut himself off from the world.
Bathing, I wasn't brushing my teeth. I wasn't answering phone calls to friends and stuff. Like I think I blocked everyone from getting access to me.
Worried by the change in his behaviour, his mum took him to the hospital. Soon after, Randy was visited by the mental health team. After a visit to the clinic, was immediately put on the strongest drugs without any kind of assessment. He recalls how the drugs given to him made him feel like a zombie. He felt like he was living in slow motion, found it hard to function normally and use his brain.
The medication they put me on fattened me up. It made me super hungry. Like, I kept eating everything. Like, literally, I started to shake as well. My hands were shaking, and I couldn't speak properly. I was a zombie, like, and I could see people were trying to take advantage of me. Like, everyone weren't the same no more.
However, since being released from the hospital, he has been re-diagnosed and is on different drug with a lower dose, which he believes would have been more suitable in the earlier stages.
The medication that they got me on now is called aripiprazole. It doesn't really do that much damage to me now, but at the end of the day, medication is not good for a human being. The healing of the nations is herbs.
I agree with him fully. I've said time and time again, I don't agree with medication. I used to be on medication and I went cold turkey. I'm not advising anyone to do that. If you're on medication, come off of it slowly, stage by stage. Lower your dose now, like every few weeks or whatever. Don't just cold turkey it. That's what I did, but not everyone's going to be able to do that. It's dangerous as well. So, but I got sick of having to live life relying on tablets. So that's the choice I made. You've got to do what's best for you. Overall, Randy has come a long way since his initial breakdown. He is back in regular contact with his friends and working on family relationships which broke down during his mental health period. He is in a much better place mentally and physically and hopes to be off all medication in the near future.
When it comes to my mental health,
the worst thing you can do as well is what he was touching on a minute ago, is locking yourself off from everything and everyone. I've done it as well time and time again, but that doesn't help anything. At the time it feels like it's helping you, but it doesn't. It just makes things worse.
And be mentally stable. I'll be honest, I feel like if I lost it, I lost like 25% of me and the rest of me was still there, but because I indulged in fasting, I got myself back on board. And because when you fast, you basically detox away from people, food, and from just normal habits, and you become centered again.
In Randy's case, the loss of his brother and his friend was the beginning of a dark and scary road. Unfortunately, Randy is not the only one facing similar mental health journeys. Mental health is actively increasing and becoming more and more prominent in today's society, especially in the black community. Mental health can be triggered by multiple things, whether it's work, family or relationship issues, drugs, financial problems, parental struggles, loss of loved ones and insecurity. It can happen at any time and be triggered by anything. You don't have to face it alone. A lot of times when people turn to hard times, they automatically feel like their friends and family are against them, which is wrong a lot of the time. Your loved ones just want to help you embrace them instead of chasing them away. Don't be afraid to speak out or speak up. Letting things off your chest can also help. And if you are religious, pray. Don E. That's massive, man. As I said, I never heard of this guy. That's irrelevant. This is fire. This is what we need more of. Not just as musicians, artists, like everyone needs to be promoting mental health. It was Mental Health Day yesterday, I believe, or the day before. We need to start celebrating that day. Like we celebrate, Drake's got a new album out, or the Queen's getting married, or do you know what I mean? Well, that's a bad example, the Queen, like she's old as fuck, but do you know what I mean? Like Prince Harry's getting married, or whatever it is. Them fucking irrelevant things we celebrate, we need to celebrate things like this, like mental health, real life shit, man. So big up Don E. Definitely a pass. This was fire, as I said. Make sure you check it out. I'll put the original in the description. I don't do that with a lot of things because I'm going to try to do it more often going forward. But I'm only going to do it with stuff that I rate. If I trash it, it's not getting in the description. So I'll put it in the description for it. Big up Don E once again. Depression Stories. Make sure you go check it out. Leave a like as well. And share your story as well. I encourage everyone to speak up on struggles, because the more people that talk about it, the more people will feel that they can go talk about it and open up and get help themselves. So shout out to everyone supporting. They don't want to fuck with the real ones.